I just called it PEEPS Fondant. So like I said, I just want to play with this and see where we go. So I will put the ingredients down at the bottom. I'm not going to follow her instructions, because I've made marshmallow fondant for a long time. So I kind of know what it entails. So I'm going to put what I know, and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, of course. Duh. And so I'm going to do that. So let me get the show on the road. And actually, wait a minute, hold on 1 second. Can we pause this, please? Okay, so I'm not gonna quite change the camera angle yet. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. So I'm gonna use the plastic bowl. This is my old, I've had this bowl, as you can see, it looks crusty on the inside, but it is not, I guarantee 100% it is clean. I've just had these bowls for a bajillion years. And I am not even lying when I say that. These bowls are probably like 15 years old. And these were actually, they're probably even older than that, because these were my mom's bowls. So, just saying, I've had them forever. So yeah, I personally, when I make fondant, this is my own personal preference. When I make regular fondant with the little mini marshmallows, I always do it in plastic. And the reason, like, Pete, you can make it in a glass bowl if that's all you have. I prefer plastic. I prefer plastic because glass holds heat longer, I feel. And I feel like it takes a long time, and you can over knead and over put too much sugar, and you'll get too much of a stiff fondant. Because, like, if you have a plastic bowl, I feel like the plastic gets cooler faster, and your fondant will get cooler faster, and I always just have better luck, and this is just what I always use. This is my personal preference. I know people who's made fondant in a double broiler, because they put their marshmallows and their butter and all that in the double broiler, and then they put the powdered sugar, or they put it in like a different separate bowl, and then they pour the melted marshmallow in. Again, preference. It's all about what you want to do. So, one thing that I know is to spray your bowl. So I'm going to spray my bowl. Because fondant is a sticky situation. Okay, so I'm going to put my PEEPS. I'm going to open these up. Excuse me, I belched. That's gross. For my son's birthday today, we ordered out. We don't normally order out. We very rarely ever order out. Now see, this is why I'm curious about this fondant. The main reason, okay, I get it. They're marshmallow fondant. But PEEPS are covered in sugar, like crystallized sugar. And I'm wondering how this is gonna play and how it's gonna change the consistency of the fondant. So, and what the texture is gonna be like. That's why I said I've never made this before. So curiosity killed the cat. Let's be curious together. So, 1 package of PEEPS, and then it says to add 3 tablespoons of agua, some water. So, I'm just gonna eyeball it, and I'm just gonna put a 1/4 cup, because I do believe, let me double check, I was right. A 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. So, what is this? So I'm just gonna dump some out, and I'm gonna pour this over top of my PEEPS. Now, because I have made fondant a time or two, what I'm gonna do, I got the water on top of them, is I'm gonna mix these up, and I want the water to kind of coat some of them. So, now, it says report said online to microwave these in 30-second intervals. I do it at least for a minute first. Usually I know that if I have a whole bag of marshmallows, I do 2 minutes and then stir, we're good to go without burning the marshmallows. I will do a minute with this, only because, I'm going to start with a minute, because it's this outer layer of sugar that is boggling my mind and how this can become fondant, like a good fondant. So let's find out again together. Let me put this in the microwave for uno momento, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just took the PEEPS out. They've only been in for a minute, and they are definitely not where they need to be. So I am going to zap that. Well, let me mix this a little bit because they are kind of melting, because they do hold heat. This little section right here though, I mean, they're hot. Because I know from making fondant, you want a nice, smooth, well, maybe a minute was good. Let's close the microwave. This is gonna take a little bit of, see, there's like some, see if I can smush them up against the side. I also knew this wasn't going to make much, so that's another reason why I did a small bowl. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, well, there's gonna be lumps, I guess. I don't know. There's just some lumps I can't seem to smooth out. Oh, I guess I'm good. Well, no, there's kind of down at the bottom of the bowl. Mix it real good. Okay, that's enough mixing. Now, oh, I need my thingamabobber. Okay, so the recipe, let me just double check. Okay, it is recording, right? Yeah, okay. So online, the recipe called for 3 cups of sugar. 3 cups of powdered sugar. Actually, let me use this cup again. I need new measuring cups. Let me tell you. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna go through all that. I'm just gonna eyeball it. So I'm gonna put some powdered sugar in here. That's probably about a cup, right? So let's sift that in there. Now, the original recipe, what it said to do was on the counter, it said to make a well inside the powdered sugar and then pour your marshmallow in it and mix. I mean, you could do that, but a bowl in a contained area is more my speed. So you really want to mix, get your powdered sugar all mixed up in there. Okay, definitely needs more, that is for sure. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Alright, let's get this. Let's speed this process up, shall we? Alright. Let's mix this on up. I need to bring my apron downstairs I have it. I washed it and it's been upstairs in my room, hanging up now. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. All right, can I put my fingers on it yet? No, it's still kind of it's still very, very sticky. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more powdered sugar. Okay, and then after this, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the powdered sugar in the bowl. As like so. And then I don't feel like getting the Crisco, to be honest, so this works just as good. Grease your hands up. Get that off. And then start kneading this in. There we go. That's what you need to do. You need to get your hands in there. Because you really need to get in there and knead it up. I have to admit, I will admit, this is actually very soft. It's a very soft, it's still very really sticky. It's still kind of sticky. I hope you guys can see. Here's the texture of it. It's still, as you can see, I'm still pulling it off my hands. So it definitely needs more sugar. Oh, I can't get it off. I'm not even sifting this. I'll work out the kinks myself. This is why I said you should do it in a bowl, because the mess is somewhat contained for the most part. And you don't, I mean, you lose some powdered sugar, but see, this is like cooled down. It's still a little warm, but it's not like terrible. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, I'll take this out. I'm gonna knead this a little bit. All right. It's still sticky, but it seems okay. You can always just keep adding. You can either add shortening. Like, it's got a good, let me say, that was a bad tear. It's because there was powdered sugar right there. Let me see. The texture is definitely different. And it doesn't seem like it wants to not be sticky. There's a problem I'm having here. Usually this would be done by now if it was regular fondant. And I have definitely used more than 3 bags or 3 cups of sugar. So this is the rest of the sugar. That I'm not going to put any more sugar in here, because I personally like a nice stiff fondant. Now, like I said, you can put shortening on this or in this. Butter, maybe. I don't know. Like, I've never made this before. I'm just going with my experience of making regular, marshmallow fondant. I mean, not saying it's not usable, because this is a very pretty lilac color, but I just don't know about the like, it seems smooth. It's really soft, and see, it like tears super easy. So I mean, if you just were rolling it out and cutting out shapes, I would definitely not cover this with anything, but you can definitely use it for something. All right, whoops, we're gonna do a little experiment here. Let me see if I can fix you guys. Okay, so we're gonna do a little experiment. So this, I got some parchment paper, and I got my little handy dandy duster here, and my hands are still sticky. I've washed my hands quite a few times and they're still really sticky. I'm gonna put some, this is cornstarch, and I'm gonna dust my little rolling pin. I'm not gonna take a big piece. Here's our fondant. It's been sitting for a little while, just to kind of crust up some. So I'm just gonna take a little piece. Like I said, the texture is definitely different. Look at the like ridges and stuff when I pulled it away. Fondant, when you make a good fondant, you have that elasticity. This you don't have. This is a very soft fondant. It does have a Play-Doh like feeling, like texture to it. It smells good. Let me taste it. I just want a little teeny tiny piece. Here's a little teeny tiny piece. Okay. This is gonna sound super weird, but I swear it tastes like grape. It might just be the peat flavoring, but I swear I get a grape taste. That's so weird. Okay, so I'm gonna try to roll this just for the sake of experimentation. Now I have this on parchment paper. It's rolling really good. Okay. All right, sticking. All right. Now see, look at that. You can't lift it up. Do you see that? You cannot lift it off. And this is parchment paper with cornstarch, which I know this can happen with regular fondant also, but usually I don't have any issues. So it's just, it's a very weird texture. I'm not saying that this can't be done. If you want to make it with your kids, I think it would be cool, it would be fun, and then you could let them play with it. But for decorating cakes, I mean, I don't know. So I got this little cookie cutter. It was already out, so I'm just going to use this. See how it works, see how it sticks. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if you can tighten the edges up. I mean, you can, but it is very, very, very soft. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it rolls out okay, but like as you saw, it sticks really. Can I get it off with? Like I said, I've had fondant stick before, marshmallow fondants. But usually not. I've had it stick to counters with just cornstarch or powdered sugar. I don't know if it's just my hands because I'm still super sticky. It's just soft and it is sticky. Like it just has the stickiness that won't go away. Now, granted, this could be because I just made it, but from what the article said is that you can use it right away. Me making marshmallow fondant all the years that I've been making it, I think it needs to firm up, and I think it does need some Tylose. So if you have Tylose and you really want to use marshmallow PEEPS on your cake or use it as a fondant, you'll definitely need Tylose. Maybe add more cornstarch to it or something. Like I said, this is my first time. This is just my opinion. This is how I feel and what I would personally do. So It's not a lose. It's definitely not a fail, because it definitely is like, it is Play-Doh consistency. That's the best way I can describe it. And it just continuously has this sticky feel that my normal fondant that I make out of regular marshmallows does not have. And I really think that is because of the candy coating that is on top of the PEEP, that granulated crystallized type sugar. It just has the stickiness, and I guess the water, I mean, it just has the stickiness to it. I mean, it's very soft and pliable, and again, I can't keep saying it does. It feels like Play-Doh, but it sticks. It's very sticky. You just have to keep adding cornstarch or Tylose to it. And like I said, call me crazy, but I kid you not, I'm gonna put some cornstarch, and I'm gonna wrap this up in this parchment paper, put some more cornstarch on it, and I'm gonna put it away. And I am going to we'll leave it there, and I'm gonna check it in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm back. Now, some time has passed, about 20 minutes, and I have let this set in a nice cool place. Now, as I pulled this off, I noticed some residue. Even though I put cornstarch on it, it is sticking. It's still very soft. It doesn't have that pull. See how it tears and how rough it is? You want like a nice smooth. But if you rolled this out, I think this would be okay for rolling it. And maybe using cutters, like even if it was just for polka dots or something. Like I said, not a total fail. I definitely wouldn't use it, like I said, to cover a cake, but maybe for some decorations it would be okay. And I don't mean like in-depth decorations, because I think that, like, I don't know, it still has that Play-Doh consistency, not like real fondant. And you see how it gets like that skin when you fold it. You see how it gets all that. I mean, it can be smoothed out, but like I said, this is just better if you roll it out and used it for it has gotten stiffer. It's not, so it is still sticky, but it's not as sticky as it was, but it still has a stickiness to it. Like I said, I'm comparing this to my fondant that I know and that I have experience that I've made, because my fondant's usually pretty smooth and it doesn't have that stickiness to it. And I also know that you need that elasticity in it. But like I said, it's not a complete fail.